Hey y'all, it's your girl, Takara Nicole, and I know it's been a while. And normally, even during this time of kind of like consecration, I wouldn't normally even like come on here, but I felt led to have this conversation that I think is very, very important. So I'm gonna tag some people in the room. I want you guys to tag some people in the room. Um, because I feel like it's important for us to have a clear understanding about where we are right now. And it's crazy because even during these moments of consecration, I get all the texts, from a lot of the people that I lead, and they're like, oh, I messed up, or oh, this happened, and different things like that. And it's like they're beating themselves up without really having a clear understanding of like what is it really mean to, consecrate? What does it mean to really set yourself apart and set aside, and to really honestly, like I told them, it's really about making room. Right. And one of the biggest things that the Lord has always shown me around this time, which is why we decided to, good morning, Taryn, decided to actually consecrate during this time. And it wasn't a place of, it was a corporate, because here's the thing. May is the time, the middle of the year is the time that many of us fall off, right? We start our year so strong, but by the time we get to May, oftentimes all of the things that you said that you were going to do, all of the things that you started out doing, you are no longer doing them. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. You started out strong. That's why I laugh, because they say like people be in the gym and they're like the gym is packed on January 1, but by the time it gets to May, by the time it gets to June, by the time we get to the middle of the year, all of those things that you used to do, you're no longer doing them. Right. And we have to, at some point, we have to stop and ask ourselves, why? Why do I always get to this point where I'm going in strong, I'm motivated to do it, boom, I'm not motivated no more. Right. Where does that go? Because if you don't ever stop to acknowledge and to figure out, how do I keep getting to this same place, right? You're never going to grow. Like, you're never going to execute what you're called to do if you cannot acknowledge why I keep getting to this one space, this one moment, this one time, and I quit. And so the Lord began to deal with me as we've been on these, we're ending out Sunday 21 days. The Lord began to deal with me about being mentally exhausted. And what does that look like in that? He was saying, like, my people, they are mentally exhausted. Hear me. But we are exhausted. I'm going to say this because it's my assignment. We are exhausted 10 times out of 10 because we live our lives with no plan. We do. We are exhausted. Yes, we are overwhelmed. We have a lot of things on our plate, but we have a lot of things on our plate, but we also don't have a clear plan for our lives. And so, in order for us to even be able to maintain the goal that you set out January 1, there had to be a plan. This is why oftentimes at the end of the year I do a session with every, like I'll do like a 30-day session to prep us for the beginning of the year, because the things that you want to do in January, they have to be habits, structure, and routine that you create at the end of the year. You will not jump into January 1 and just say, ta-da, I'm here at the gym, without there being a plan to maintain the thing that you're saying that you're going to do. So if you're hopping in and you're like, January 1 is the day that you're trying to like create all of these change moments, it's just not going to happen. And so this is why this reset for our ministry and for the people was so important, because I told him, I said, listen, y'all, this goes beyond not eating, right? This goes beyond even some of the spiritual aspects, right? Because you can pray all day long, but if you don't deal with the natural you, right? If you don't deal with you, and you don't have the clear understanding of where you struggle and where you mess up and where you trip up and where are you triggered, right? If you don't have a clear understanding of those natural things, that's what consecration does. Consecration helps you to be able to acknowledge, hear me, it helps you to be able to acknowledge the things that keep getting in the way, come on, of your progress. Right? They help you to acknowledge the things that are keeping you from actually making room and letting God be God. And so if you really are serious about, this is why, it's so funny, because even the people that are consecrated, like, these are things that I'm just going to keep up, right? I'm going to continue to do even beyond these 21 days. Why? Because these 21 days are for you to establish better habits. All right. And many of us, we need, hear me this morning, we need better habits. We do. We need better habits. That's it, BB. You have to know your weaknesses. The Bible says it, right? You got to know not just the sin, but you also have to know the weight that so easily besets you. What am I saying? It's not just about the simple things that trip us up, because honestly, the weights then become sin oftentimes. You have to know your weaknesses. Weaknesses, we think that weaknesses are like, oh man, or just sex or just this. There are so many other things that get in the way of us being able to fulfill purpose. You have to know what they are. And so consecration is for me to acknowledge those weaknesses, right? And not only do I acknowledge them, but I'm able to replace them with something else so that I can see progress. It allows me to discipline myself. And I'm telling you now, we are not seeing results, people, because we're not a disciplined people. Right? We are not a disciplined people. Good morning, Shakia. We are not a disciplined people. We just have to be honest. We want to do what we want to do when we want to do it. And we're not willing to wait, and we're not willing to put the things in place that make our life easier. We're not willing to put the things in place for us actually to actually maintain the thing that we desire. I love when I see the thing online. It's like, hey, listen, if you can just hold out for 6 months, right? If you can just come offline, if you could just separate yourself, if you can just posture yourself, because sometimes we some of us are consecrated for 21 days, when actuality, you need to consecrate for a year. You know what I'm saying? You need to set yourself apart. You need to set yourself aside for a full year to be able to hear and to get some things in place. But we're not seeing results, y'all. Hear me. Y'all know I love you, because we're not a disciplined people. We're not willing to do the work. And we think that it's just going to miraculously show up. And so the Lord began to deal with me. He said about my people, and he said, my people are mentally exhausted, right? He said, my people are wore out in their mental. And I said, well, God, why are your people wore out? He said, you cannot continue to try to produce at a high level while ignoring your mental capacity. And I was talking to somebody last night, and we were having this conversation even about relationships, right? And so I was telling us that when I'm talking to people, when I'm counseling people, and this goes for life in general, I'm like, I can't tell you when enough is enough. Right? I can't tell you when to get out. I can't tell you that that's not the one for you. I can't tell you what to put up with. Why? Because your level of capacity and my level of capacity is two totally different things. And it's the same thing as it pertains to life. What you can handle, Michelle, and what I can handle are two different things. There are things that God has that has put in you to be just for you to be able to go through and maintain, but everybody doesn't have that same level of capacity. And so many of us, we become exhausted and we get wore out sometimes because you literally don't have the capacity for that. And that was the one thing I had to acknowledge in this season, right? Is that my capacity has shifted. My capacity has changed. And so when your capacity level has changed, even in the natural, it means my mental capacity has changed. What I can withhold, what I can do is changed. And it's okay. And so in those moments, you have to know how to adjust. You have to know how to move. You have to discipline yourself. Hear me. You have to discipline yourself for where you are right now. And oftentimes, I'm telling you this, 21 days, the Lord has been dealing with me. He said that we are a people that we it's in routine is a good thing. Hear me. But some of the things that were good in previous seasons are not always good in present moments, right? Things that we were able to do in present in previous seasons, and I give this example all the time, right? When you were married and you didn't have children, it's a different story than when you get married and now you do have children, right? Your life changes. Now going from one kid to two kid, my life has shifted. And so sometimes you're still trying to maintain the same level of even assignments and the same level of things that we used to do. And I used to be able to do all these things in the church, and I used to be able to do all these things at work. But now my capacity has changed, right? And it's the same thing now, right? I don't have any new physical babies, but I got some new babies that God is birthing out of me, right? I got some books, I got some businesses, I got ministry. And so my capacity has shifted. And if I don't discipline myself, if I don't try to continue to operate off of old seasons and old ways, right? And old routines that, I'm going to be honest, just don't work no more. It's not the same. So some of us are mentally exhausted because you're still trying to do the same thing that you used to do. And you have to be honest with yourself and say, you know what? That don't work. This ain't it. Sometimes even the things that you set out to do at the beginning of the year, you got to be honest to say, I don't even think I really had the capacity for that in the beginning. For you to say at the beginning of the year that I'm going to work out 5 days a week when you know you don't have 5 days a week, you already set yourself up for failure because you didn't have the capacity. And so what happens is midway along the way, we get tired. We get exhausted because we're still trying to keep up with something that we honestly didn't have the capacity in the very beginning. And so this is why I always say Taryn love when I say this, and I'll continue to say it. Hey, y'all, it's peace and preparation. Y'all, it's peace and preparation. It is so much peace when we prepare for the thing that we're asking for, right? It's so much peace in actually creating systems, right? It's so much peace when we create the plan to sustain. Come on, to sustain the thing that we desire. So don't we can't get upset with ourselves when we create unrealistic goals. We can't get upset with ourselves when we create unrealistic expectations. Because it just wasn't possible for me to say that I'm going to go to all of these services, that I'm going to show up for all of these people, that I'm going to do all of these different kind of things when I know that I just don't before. I used to, but my priorities have shifted. And what happens is you're trying to still maintain all of these things when your priorities have shifted. That's it, Marisha. It is peace and preparation. And so, like, even now when I was, people are always texting. They're like, I know sometimes you may look on Facebook and like, man, it seems like she's just like all over the place. It just seems like she's just always doing something. But I promise you, right? There's peace and preparation. I'm just not doing hair every day. I'm not coaching every day. I'm not preaching every day, right? There's a method to the madness that allows me to be able to do the things that I do. And so even like right now, people were just like, I know you're just overwhelmed. I know you're just stressed. And I'm like, I'm really not. I'm not. And it's not like, fake, but I'm not really overwhelmed. You know why? Because I put everything in its proper place and I keep it there. And that's just not something that we're not taught. And I've learned how to release things that I need to release. I've learned how to let go of things that no longer align, that no longer fit with where I am right now. And that's the problem. If you don't know how to let go of the things that no longer fit for where you are right now, you're going to keep trying to maintain these two things, and it's just not possible. It's not it. So listen, there's peace and preparation. Listen, we got to prepare for the thing. And if you need help, I say this all the time. Listen, and I know sometimes people's like, I just don't want to reach out to you because I know you're just so busy, blah, blah, whatever. But I'm telling you, reach out if you need help. This is my capacity. I have been anointed to do what I do. I've been anointed to we can have the conversation and I can help you pan out, walk it out. But one thing that bothers me sometimes is that I do offer a lot of different classes and a lot of things and people don't hop in. And I'm like, I try to be affordable. I try to be accommodating. I try to do all the things. And it's like, I'm like, people are offering it. And this is why I say that oftentimes it's not a money thing, right? It's not. It's not a money thing. Y'all, it's a discipline thing because people offer free classes. People have free sessions. People are doing conferences and we don't show up. We don't participate. And so for me, it's like you can't keep talking about what you want to do, but you're not willing to do the work. Come on. I'm telling y'all, we cannot continue to keep talking about what we want to do and not do the work. It's work to be done, y'all. It's money to be made. And I'm getting ready to do this class. I said I'm gonna put it out. I'm getting ready to do this class with these kids. And I really began to think back over my life, right? And so I started doing hair at 8. I was the braider of a salon when I was 14. By the time I was 17, I was the salon manager. I've been a salon owner. I did the math. I didn't even listen, didn't even think about it. I've been a salon owner for the last 8 years. 8, almost 9 years, y'all. with no trust fund, no loans, no business partner, solely on myself, right? And I was like, dang, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like when you just sometimes this is why flashbacks are so important. When you just start to think back over your life, I'm like, Lord, I don't have a business degree, right? But it's been God that's been literally been guiding me this entire time, right? It is him that has downloaded, that has given me what I needed. And I remember there was a young girl that came into my shop and she was getting her hair done. And she said, I really want to do hair. She said, but my mom and dad told me I can't do it because there's no money in hair. And in that moment, I said, it took me back to when I was a young girl. And I was like, I remember other people telling me that it wasn't no money in hair. And I'm like, hair is the only job I've ever had. Literally, the only job I've ever had is doing hair. The only job, I've only been an entrepreneur. Besides, when I was young, I worked at Pizza Hut. But entrepreneurship is all I know. I've been an entrepreneur my entire life. And so, what I'm telling you guys is that with God, and not just with God, hear me, but I gave God something to work with. I would plan and I would organize and I would write out my goals and I would do whatever I needed to do to reach them. And I came to ignite a fire in all of you that are on the line today. Hear me. I came to ignite something in all of you guys today, that whatever you have been sitting on, go get it. Whatever you have been charged to do, go do it. That's it. I agree. It has been God. That's what I'm saying. It's been God the entire time. He's been my partner. But whatever God has put a burden on you to do, whatever you have been charged to do, right? It may not be a business. Go do it. I'm going to tell you this, even as it pertains to managing your households, right? Create systems that make your life easier. Stop just going on haphazardly through life and thinking that it's about to miraculously show up in your hand. It's not. I'm telling you, Coach Shields, to have clients who are willing to invest in themselves and value the time, expertise, and energy. People would quit a job that doesn't pay them, but once a small business owner, absolutely, an entrepreneur is the word for not absolutely. That is so real, Coach Steele. He said people would quit a job that doesn't pay them, but once a small entrepreneur and small business owners and entrepreneurs to work for free. Like we have bills, and I'm telling you, but it's money to be made out there. There is so not even just money to be made, but there are people out there that need what you have. We got to get up. We have to get up and we have to do the work. The Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. Hear me. And I'm telling you guys, because I've been willing to write the vision and make it plain, I'm watching God walk it out before my eyes. I'm not perfect. I don't have it all together. I have slipped up and messed up. I have wasted money. I have invested money. I've been a bad steward over my money. I'm going to be honest. I've not stewarded my money well. I don't always steward moments well, but hear me. I get back up. And if it's you on the line today that hasn't stewarded your money well, you haven't stewarded relationship well, you haven't stewarded resources well, hear me. You still have time to get up. If you wrote out the goals January 1 and you fell off, you still got time to get up and do the work. Just because yesterday you messed up don't mean today is not the opportunity for you to get up and do what you need to do. Stop. I just was preaching last week and I was talking. I said, stop sitting on the sidelines, watching everybody else do the thing that you know you're called to do. You cannot get upset with people that are walking out their purpose if you don't want to do the work. So write the vision, make it plain. Stop being intimidated by other people. Stop looking at what other people are doing and like, oh, well, she's already doing it, or he's already doing it. He's already in that lane. She's already in that lane. Absolutely. And guess what? They're in that lane and you can too. You have something to offer. You have something to give. Yes, there are t-shirts, but guess what? There's Nike, there's Under Armour, there is Converse, there's all different brands, and all of them still have stores. You don't have no excuses. Not one. There are a million and one mentorships. There are a million and one women's conferences. Come on. There are a million and one men's conferences. And it's always going to be that way. When you go into the store, how many brands are on there? Come on. How many brands are on the shelf? A million and one. And people go in and they grab their preference. And I came to prophesy to somebody on the line to let you know that you are somebody's preference, Kendra. Come on. Lady Christine, you are somebody's preference. I may not be the one for them, but you are the one for them. And you cannot keep sitting on the side. Come on. And I don't care if it's 5 people. 5. I don't care. It's okay. Do it anyway. Because those 5 people have what you need. And here's the greatest part, those 5 people know 5 people. And those 5 people know 5 people. But today I came to ignite. Today I listen, I had to, I ain't been live in a long time. I haven't. But I came on here this morning. I'm telling you, I woke up out of my sleep excited about going live because the Lord was speaking to me in my dream. He said, my people are tired. My people are exhausted. He said, but get on there and tell my people that you are tired and you are exhausted because you refuse to get up and do the work. Some of y'all are mentally, let me hear me. Some of you are mentally exhausted from scrolling on TikTok every day. What? Some of you are mentally exhausted because you are strolling on Facebook all day. Let me bring it home, right? You're looking at everybody else's life and then you're looking at your life. And you're exhausted looking at somebody else's life because you're like, how do they have all the things I want? How are they in all the places that I have? How are they in all the da, da, da? And you're running down this list about what they are and forgetting about who you are. Come on. You're forgetting about what you've been created to do. You are forgetting about the business that's been locked inside of you. You are forgetting about the book that's been placed inside of you. And so you're looking at my page and you're like, oh my gosh, she did a book. Oh my God, her daughter is the author and she's only 14 years old. Let me tell you, we put in the work. The work. The work. You have to do the work. You got to get up. Get up out of this. I came to pull you up out of this place. I know you ain't did what you said you was gonna do. I know you ain't lost the 15 pounds. I know you ain't lost the 50 pounds you thought that you were gonna lose. I know you didn't finish the book. I know the devotional's not done. I know you haven't started the business. I know you haven't launched a mentorship. I know you haven't done the things that you said January 1. I should have been making money by now. Come on. Some of y'all said I should have been had what I said that I was gonna have. Why don't I have it? He said, listen, because you gotta do the work. You spend 15 hours a week scrolling on social media when those 15 hours a week could be used for you to be working on your business. Stop. Listen, y'all know y'all heard me say this before. I am all for sowing seed, right? Because I'm a seed sower, not because I sow seed. But let me tell y'all, please be mindful and be spirit led when y'all sow seed, because some of you are wasting your seed, right? You're going online trying to get $50 prophecies and you're sowing seed and like, oh, let me get this $50 because I want them to give me a prophecy. Take that $50 and invest in a class. Take that $50 and invest in yourself. Again, I'm not telling you don't sow seed because I'm a seed sower. Okay, let's be clear. If the spirit leads me and unctions me to do so, I'm a sow seed. But let me tell you what I also am. I am the biggest investor in myself. I know we don't like this kind of talk, but I'm a talk it today. I'm the biggest investor in me. Ain't nobody ever, I'm not going to sow more into somebody else than I'm first going to sow into me. My time, my money. Y'all out here trying to help everybody else work they ministries and work their businesses. But what about you? I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he does some stuff with the church. I ain't gonna put it out there, but we were talking. He was talking about how his life is getting ready to shift, and so he was like, I'm just trying to prepare, and like, Pastor, I'm just trying to get some things in place. And I said, I appreciate you. I appreciate the fact that you don't want to leave us high and dry. I appreciate the fact that you're willing to help us to find someone until you can transition. But he recognized that his life was getting ready to change. Hear me. And he's like, oh, I need to put some things in place. And I told him, and I said, thank you for that. And I said, let me know. See, this is where we're not mature. Let me know how I can help you, because I don't want you to sit on what God is calling you to do so that you can maintain a place in this house. Because the same way God brought you here, if God is shifting you into another place, can I tell you that God will make sure that this house is taken care of as you transition? Don't let people hold you to a place if God is calling you to do something else. Don't let people hold you. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be held accountable to God to make sure that you have done what He's asking you to do. You don't do things out of order. This is why we have conversations. I'm going to go to my leader. I'm going to tell my leader what's happening. I'm going to tell my leader what's going on. This is what's happening. This is how my life is changing. This is how my life is shifting, right? How can I help? How do we make this work? But everything is not a church thing. And I'm going to keep saying it because it's not. There are some things that God has given us to do that are going to be outside. I was talking to a young man I was on Sunday, and I was telling him, I said, one of the hardest things to do is that you're trying to sell your vision to people that don't need it. You're trying to give your vision to people that don't need it. Those of you that are on the line today, I need y'all to hear me real close. Like lean in, lean in, lean in. Okay. One of the harder things about being a business owner, okay, is trying to tell your vision to people that it's not a pain point for them, because they're not going to understand you. They don't understand the need for you because you're not a pain point. Here's the thing: people that don't have hair loss, right, don't understand the need for a hair loss practitioner because you don't have hair loss. It's hard for you to connect with something that is not a pain point for you. And so if you're trying to sell your dream to people that clearly don't understand what it is that you're building. And so oftentimes what happens is that you put what you're trying to do on the back burner, or Nick, you try to do it another way, or you trying to do it how they're telling you to do it. And it's like, but it's not a pain point for you. Hear me. If you've never lived on the streets, and I'm creating a program for people that are on the street, right? And you trying to tell me how to do it, because I don't think you should do it like that. You ain't never lived on the street. You ain't never had to go without. And because you never been in that place before, you don't understand the need for what I'm building. You cannot go to people. Hear me. Unless the Lord is leading you there, stop going to people that don't understand your vision. And so now you are so far from what God initially told you to do. You are so far from what you wrote down originally. And I told this man of God on Sunday, I said, listen, go back to the original plan. Go back. I don't know who I'm talking to this morning, and I know this is the Lord. Go back to what God told you to do the first time. Go back. Go back to how God told you to build that ministry the first time. Go back to how God told you to build that mentorship the first time. Go back to how God told you to build that business the first time. It ain't gonna look like everybody else. And that's what God wants, because who He has created it for is who it's going to attract. And it reminded me of fishing. Now, I'm not a fisher, so hear me. I ain't gonna go too deep. But one thing I've come to know is that different fish are attracted to different type of bait. Okay, and you could be in the right spot with the wrong bait. Come on. You can be in the wrong spot, come on, with the right bait. What am I saying? Is that who you are called to, you got the bait to catch them. That's it. Who you are called to, you got the bait to catch them. Who you are supposed to attract, hear me, you got the bait to get them. Some of you are just in the wrong place. Some of y'all are in church. You got the right bait, but you're trying to build this thing in church. I feel God this morning. You are in church, and the people that you need to attract, that bait is not for them. Sometimes you gotta go outside the walls. You in the wrong place with the right bait. And you're like, Lord, why they not catching? Why they not catching on to this vision? Why they not seeing what I'm seeing? Why they not doing what I'm doing? He said, because you in the right place, in the wrong place with the right bait. That's not where you're supposed to be. That's not where that assignment is. Then some of us, you in the right place with the wrong bait. Let me break that down, right? You in the right place, but you trying to attract them with the wrong thing. Because you're trying to attract them with what somebody else told you to attract them with, Nick. Like, oh no, like you need to sing it like this, and you need to build it like this, and you need to go about it like this. And you're like, but no. So you're in the right position. God already put you where you're supposed to be. But now you got the wrong bait. So today, if you don't hear nothing else that I got to say, is get in the right place with the right bait. In the right place with the right bait. You're exhausted and you're tired. This is where I come in and say, Master, we've been toiling all night. Yeah, some of y'all been toiling all night because y'all been toiling with the wrong bait. Some of y'all been toiling all night because y'all been toiling and y'all been in the wrong place at the wrong time. He said, no, 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 no. Cast your net on the other side. He's like, nah. We ain't gonna we already done this before. Today the Lord is saying, cast your net on the other side. Why am I saying that? Because you might got the right bait in the wrong place. So some of us are exhausted because you're like, God, I've been in this thing for too long and I don't see no results. Come on. I feel like I've been doing this thing for such a long time and I'm not seeing nothing, right? Sometimes we don't see the results and we're mentally exhausted because we're doing the right thing in the wrong place. You got the goods, you got everything, but you're just not doing it in the right place. And I've learned these lessons. This is why I can say it. I tried to be everybody else. I tried to conform to what other people wanted me to do. I tried to become what I thought people wanted me to become until I slowly realized that, let me tell y'all something. They gonna talk either way. They gonna talk if you don't do it, and they gonna talk if you do it. So you might as well just do it the way you know you're supposed to do it. You might as well just do it exactly the way that God gave it to you. When I started the well, it was so different. But the thing about it was the day that I launched the well, before we even had a service ever, I went to a service. And believe it or not, the man of God that is my bishop now, I didn't even know him at that time. And we had launched the day before, and I went to another service to support this man of God, and the bishop was there. And he told me, he said, the way that the Lord gave you this ministry, he said, the Lord said, do it exactly how he gave it to you. Do it exactly how he gave it to you. He said, it's going to sound weird to other people. It's going to sound odd to other people. He said, but do it how God gave it to you. And that was day one. We never even had a service or nothing. We just put it out there that we're launching Life at the Well. Fast forward to today, y'all. I didn't know that man at that time. And I didn't see him for 2 years. Fast forward, that's my bishop. Shout out to Bishop Shaw. I love him. But what I'm saying is that from day one, yeah, Marisha, don't get me started because what you got is enough. Whew, that's good to me. I really got excited on that. But from day one, he was telling me to do it how God gave it to me. And I just want to talk to you guys. I just wanted to talk to you guys this morning because I sense and I know and I feel, even when you guys reach out to me, like you guys are just exhausted. You're tired. And I know what it's like not to see results. Right. I know what it's like to keep it feel like I'm spinning my wheels. I'm just doing this thing over and over and over and over and over again. And it's like, God, where is the results? I know what it feels like. But I also know the solution because I ain't never gonna come on here and just give y'all the problem without offering the solution. And the solution number one is go back to the original plan. Right? Hear me. If you're taking notes, write it down. Go back to the original plan. Go back to what you wrote down the first time. If you said that you wanted to mentor girls from 10 to 17 and you were going to do it online and you were going to do it once a month and you were going to meet up and you were going to do this, do it like that. If you're going to call it this and you want it to be specifically for children that have been abused, if you want it to be, this is what I've been feeling too. And I don't know who it is on the line, but the Lord was saying there's somebody that wants to create something for people that have been adopted. And I don't know, somebody may watch it later. But the Lord has like given me that burden, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to interact with this person. I'm going to help them build. But the Lord was saying that there was someone that wanted to build a mentorship or like a community for people that have been adopted, because a lot of times the people that have been adopted, people don't understand the struggle, right? You don't understand the struggle of like, I love who raised me, but I also have an emptiness by who didn't raise me, right? I love who raised me, but I'm also struggling with the things that it took until I found somebody that could raise me, based on the fact that like, you know, why did you give me up? I was preaching the other week and I was telling her, I said, listen, like that's one of the hardest things to deal with, is like watching like how your mom raised three other kids, but you didn't raise me. I don't understand that. And so I felt like there's someone that's going to create a space for that. Whoever you are, you'll come find me later and it's okay. But I feel like that's a very important space. But if God gave that to you, here's the thing. Oftentimes we try to like add other people in the mix. Well, no, I'm just going to open it up to all women, or I'm going to open it up to all men, or I'm going to open it up to all people. If God showed you that specifically, can we just stay in that lane? Stay right there. Like I know what I'm called to do, and I don't want to navigate into anything else. Like I know my assignment. I know I'm called to people that feel stuck and they need to get out of a stuck place. I know I can see what people cannot see. I know that I have been anointed to work with people that are just in a very stuck place. That's just me. All the other coaching areas, I'm not really, I'm not a financial coach. I'm not that. Can I touch on those things? Absolutely. But my specific assignment is people that feel stuck. My specific assignment is dealing with the mind, right? Because if I can get your mind to shift, half of the time, the reason why we're not seeing results has nothing to do with the actual skill of a person. It has everything to do with the mindset of a person. And so if I can shift your mindset, your skill is just going to couple with the mindset. All right. So number one is go back to the original plan. Number two is this: you can be at the right place with the wrong bait. Right? The right place with the wrong bait. You could be at the right place, but using the wrong thing to try to attract people based off of what you think that people need, or what people have told you you should do, and not based off of what you know you should do. You can also be in the wrong place with the right bait, right? So get in position, get back to where you're supposed to be. Go to the place that you're supposed to be in, and not necessarily where you think it's supposed to be. Again, everything is not a church thing. And I'm gonna be honest that there are some people that really just have a very traditional mindset as it pertains to ministry, and they're not able to grasp some of the things that sometimes God releases in people. And we're going to do better in that in this season. God is really going to help us to shift our minds in that area. But again, one of us are just tired, we're exhausted because of those reasons. So listen, y'all, go back to the original plan. It's not too late. Hear me, it's not too late. You still got time to do exactly what you're called to do. I know it's May, but listen, May is not the end of the year. I told you I wrote and published my book in 6 months. It's possible. Was it work? Absolutely. Was it sacrifices? Absolutely. But it's possible. I have launched businesses. I've created events. I'm doing more. Listen, literally right now. So I said, I put it out there. I said, is there any parents interested in signing their kids up for camp? And the parents are like, oh, I'm interested. Oh, I'm interested. Okay, all right, y'all interested? Let me go ahead and build this thing out. Right. Now again, I'm anointed for it, but I can teach y'all how to do it though. Okay. But within the next day or two, the registration form is out, the flyer is done. Listen, we ready to sign up. We already started ordering stuff for kids. Bring them kids on. Let's go. But again, there is a method. There are systems that help with that. And so if you don't know what you're doing, go get the help. Listen, we waste our money in a lot of different places. Hear me. We waste our money in a lot of different places. And if you can just be willing to sacrifice for just a little moment, right? To get the thing that you desire, to walk in your purpose, to align yourself where you're supposed to be, it is possible. So I just came to ignite something in you guys. I came to set a fire in you, all right, that will not burn out. And I promise y'all I'm going to be more consistent after this moment. I just listen, I had to gather myself, right? Priorities shifted, things change. And I'm learning, I'm trying to navigate a new level of a different type of capacity, right? And trying to show up for my church and my church members and my partners at ministry and being, leadership. And we literally launched church in, less than 30 days. So we're still trying to get some things into alignment and align some things up, right? So my capacity has shifted. And so like I'm still learning, and that's why I can teach what I teach because I'm still learning the same way you guys are learning. Just like y'all are learning, I'm learning. Y'all trying to figure out. And so I'm able to give you guys the things that I'm learning and navigating through at the same time. So I love y'all. Listen, I want to put this out there really quickly for those of you that have been struggling really heavy, really hard. So a couple weeks ago, I made a post and I told you guys, I said, hey, where are y'all struggling at? And y'all started telling me where y'all was struggling. So this is what I did. I created a 4-week academy for you guys. All right. Starting on June the 4th. You can do 1 week or you can do all 4 weeks. It depends on whatever you want to do. So, week one is going to be about clarity. It's going to be about helping you to recognize what you need to work on. Where are you at right now? How do you shift? How do you move? What is next for you? Bringing some clarity to your vision to help you know what are the step by steps. Okay. Week number two is going to be all about clientele, target audience, understanding who your client is, who your client is not, visibility. I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about content creation, how to create content that converts. What do you post versus what you don't post? Week three is going to be about system building. So for those of you that are like, I have a thing, I'm doing it, but I'm tired of recreating the wheel every single time somebody reaches out, right? For instance, people that have businesses, but you don't have a booking system, right? What is the system? If someone reaches out to you, what happens next, right? I said this before, ministries struggle in this area because a lot of times ministries do really well as it pertains to, all right, Nick, I love you. A lot of times people have what it takes, but you don't have the systems to keep it. All right. And then week number four is all about execution. So how do you execute? How do you become better? How do you do better? That's going to be the focal point for week four. So you can do one session or you can do all four. Listen, I'm telling y'all right now, okay? I'm telling y'all right now in this moment that this rest of this year, I'm in my teacher bag. Okay. I'm teaching, teaching, teaching. I'm pouring. If I was you, I promise you, you will never find one session with me at $75 again. I just want y'all to know. It ain't never gonna happen. You're never gonna see it again. It ain't never gonna happen. But I promise you guys that I am being obedient to the Father. I'm doing everything that I can to help y'all. Okay. I mean everything. So you can do one session, you can do all four sessions. It's totally up to do. It's to you. It's whatever you want to do. It's up to you. I'm putting it out there. I'm making myself available, right? Out of all the things I got to do, I'm making myself available to you because I want to help you. All right. I want you guys to see results. Okay. So listen, hop on this. The at the bottom, you can text sign up. I mean, you can text reset to this number and it's gonna automatically send you the link so that you can sign up and get in the class. Spaces are gonna be limited. Y'all know I like small spaces. I like to be very intimate with my people so that I can give you everything that I have. So listen, we also have a VIP option. The VIP option gives you all four. Plus it gives you the replay for all four sessions as well as some extra coaching over the next 4 weeks. You're not going to find this nowhere and you won't find it again. I, like the gentleman said to me the other day, he said, I feel like my life is shifting. And I said the same thing. I said, you know what? I feel like my life is shifting. And next year, I don't know what my life is about to be like. So this year, I am teaching. So if I was you, whatever classes I have, I'm telling y'all, hop in them. Share this with your friends. Tell them, hey, listen, Coach T is offering some classes. You're not, I mean, I'm telling you, $75 a session, or you can get 4 sessions for 225. You're not going to find this. Every week, we are putting in the work to get it done so that you can see results. So for those of you that said, listen, January 1, and listen, this is not even just business oriented. It's whatever you want to do. I help mothers and fathers every day to create systems for their homes, believe it or not. I just don't teach business. If you're struggling at home and you're like, my life at home is all over the place, I help to bring structure to homes too. right? There is a way, there is a system, hear me, that helps. And I'm telling y'all, it works. And my kids, they'll tell me, they be like, "Ooh, mommy, we a little off right now. Like we gotta get back on track." I'm like, "You're right, we gotta get back on track." But there is a system to help maintain your homes, right? So that your life is not chaotic. So you're not doing the same thing over and over again, feel like you're recreating something. So that's all I have for y'all today. Listen, I want to open it up. Listen, really quickly, it's 10 of y'all still left on here. Anybody got any questions? I know it's a slight delay, so just give me a minute to read your questions. But if there's anybody that got any questions, I'm gonna take the last like 10 minutes to answer questions really quickly. If there's anybody that's like, "Hey, listen, what about this? Can you help me with this?" I want to help you. So it's a little delay, like I said. But I'm just giving a couple minutes for you guys to drop your questions in the chat. I'm gonna give it a second. Give it a minute. Anybody got any questions? All right. Let's see. I don't see no questions in the chat. Perfect. Okay. I don't see no questions in the chat, but I love y'all so much. Listen, don't forget, go back to the original plan. Go back to what God had originally told you to do the first time. And can I tell y'all? Oh, this is good. Should you invest in yourself if you aren't ready to invest in your business? Absolutely. So if you're not ready to invest in your business, you are always the number one. Before I started branching out to certain things, I took classes, right? And even investing in yourself can look like investing in like just mental thing, like preparing yourself, because how you do one thing is how you do all things, right? And if you are a mess at home, you're going to be a mess in your business. And so I would tell you guys, like, get the knowledge. Like, if someone is hosting something, it is nothing like getting the knowledge, getting the notes, having the understanding, so that you know even what to invest in, right? So even in businesses, sometimes we just go out and we buy a lot of things. Like, I'm struggling with some people right now, um because like the time we're just going to start your business, because I'm struggling with a lot of people right now, because we go out and we get websites and we buy products, and buy products is good because you want to test it, but we go out and we buy products and we get websites and we do all these different kind of things, but you don't actually have the foundation of your business set up. You know what I'm saying? So for those of you that are like, "I want to do it," let's make sure that we build correctly. And so making sure that you have all the different foundational things in place so that you're clear on who you're talking to. You're clear on what is this created for? Because sometimes that's one of the biggest things, is that like you got a logo made, and so your logo doesn't really translate to the people. You know what I'm saying? Like colors matter. And so sometimes I'm gonna give y'all an example really quickly, is that sometimes people, create things because they like it, right? And just because you like it doesn't mean that it translates well with your client. And so oftentimes when I'm dealing with my clients, we got to go back and we got to start over, because what you're building something that looks cute for you. Just because you like the color doesn't mean that it's going to resonate well with your client, or it's going to resonate well with what you're building. And so for some of you, it's like, get the foundational things, have the foundational things, so when you are ready to launch, you're able to launch correctly. And honestly, that's how I started coaching. I started coaching because I found that there were a lot of people that had logos, they had websites, they had all these kind of things, but when I asked them about systems, when I asked them, what do you actually serve? When I asked them, who do you actually serve? They couldn't answer none of those questions. And so if you can't answer those questions, those things matter more to me, because I can sell something without having a logo. I can sell without having a website. If I'm clear on who I'm selling to and what I'm selling, I don't need all of those things. They're great because you're going to need them eventually. But those things are not the most important. The most important thing is the foundational things. You know what I'm saying? How much does this cost? Oftentimes, I'm getting ready to go, but I'll say this because you asked the question. Oftentimes we will even price certain things, right? So you're selling products, it takes you, $5 to make it, and you're selling it for $5. You're not going to make a profit. You know what I'm saying? So being able to understand margins, being able to understand, if maybe doing one product versus five at one time. Let me just start with this one. Let me make sure I understand what it takes to create this product and make sure that I'm selling it at a decent price point, that I'm actually going to make a profit off of it. Okay. So these are the foundational things that before I even get started, I need to understand the numbers in my head. I need to understand marketing in my head. I need to understand, is this for an adult? Is this for a child? Is this for a man? Is this for a woman? Is it for all of them? And how do I speak to all of these people at the same time? Right? Ministry is the same thing, right? Here's the thing, all ministries for everybody. The Bible tells us, go out, we're gonna make disciples. But what did I tell you guys? That there's also a thing about the right bait, right? And so the bait that we have are for the people that we're supposed to attract. So Jesus, yes, always going to attract, but there's something very particular about what your ministry has to offer, right? That attracts people. And so you can, again, be in the wrong place with the right bait, or you can have the right bait in the wrong place. So we just have to make sure that what we're using to attract the people, like the well is just the well, right? You know what I'm saying? Like we are really based on on a holistic, you know, framework, right? Not all ministries are founded on holistic framework. So like what we're, our bait that God has allowed us to use is the more practical teaching. Like I'm going to teach entrepreneurship to my people. I am. We're going to have entrepreneurship classes. Like I'm going to teach my people how to start business. I'm going to teach my people how to maintain business. I'm going to teach them about weight loss. I'm going to teach them about how to maintain your weight. I'm going to teach them about finances. You know what I'm saying? All those different kind of things, because those things are important. That's what God has given us to do. There are some ministries, maybe that's not what God called them to do. Maybe God called them to do something else, right? But your bait is your bait. That's all I got to say. So go making sure that you stick to the original plan. So listen, like I said, we're doing this academy. It's 4 weeks. $75 for one class, $225 for the bundle, $350 for the VIP, if that's what you choose to do. I'm telling y'all to get in these classes. Hear me. If you are on the line today and you say, I've been struggling, I'm telling you now, if there is a class that resonates with you, if you find that you are in one of these areas and you are struggling today, sign up. Like I said, I can't promise you what next year is going to look like. This year I'm doing nothing but teaching. Just like I'm doing a camp for these young girls, because I'm going to teach them at a young age how to get this money. If I can do it, they can do it. And I'm going to show them exactly what to do. So like I say, I'm in my teaching bag from now until the end of the year. I suggest y'all get on into these classes. YouTube is great. Trying to figure it out on your own is wonderful, but it's nothing like getting the hands-on experience that you need to go to the next level. So I love y'all so much. I'm out of here. Sign up, get in a room whenever you feel. If you're like, I got questions, I need to know, you can also text that number. That number is textable. If you got questions and you just need to know, like, is this for me? What is this? Blah, blah. Inbox me, DM me, ask me all you need to know, but stop sitting around. Listen, it reminded me of the man, and listen, I got 4 minutes because I said I have 1 hour. It reminded me of the man that was sitting by the pool, waiting for somebody to put him in, right? And finally he came by and he's like, do you want to be whole? Do you want to be well? That's what I'm asking y'all today. You know what I'm saying? Marisha, you've been getting me stirred up all day now. By this time next year has been our testimony. I'm telling y'all. So by this time next year, I'm expecting that my life is going to shift. So I'm doing everything that I got the capacity to do right now, right in this moment. Because by this time next year, I'm expecting God to shift. But it reminded me of the man that was by the pool. And he was by the pool for all of these years. And it's some of y'all on the line right now. You've been on this by the pool on the sidelines all these years, waiting for somebody to put y'all in the game. I'm just waiting for somebody to recognize me. I'm just waiting for somebody to see me. And finally, Jesus comes by and he was like, do you want to be well? You know, do you want to be well? Do you want to see success? Do you want to see wealth? Do you want to be build legacy? And that's what I'm ending on today. If you want to see it, he said, now get up and go. Get up and do the work. And that's y'all word for the day. You've been sitting on the sidelines for year after year, watching other people get in the pool, watching people come up healed, watching people get the things that you desire, watching people go and be successful. You've been sitting on the sidelines for too long. And after a while, you got Jesus, he didn't came by And this was your appointed moment. I'm telling y'all, I was not planning on going live today. He literally woke me up out of my sleep and told me to get on. This is the appointed time where Jesus is passing by. Miss Donna, he's saying, listen, do you want to be whole? Do you want to be well? Do you want to see success? And if you do, you got to get up. Get up and do the work. So that's all I have for y'all today. I love y'all so much. I'm getting ready to share the flyer live. I'm getting ready to share the post live. When you see it, share this with your friends and tell them, don't miss out. Coach Takara is in her teaching bag and she's ready to tell us all the things that we need to know so that we can execute and execute with excellence in our life. All right. I love y'all so much. Have an amazing day. Bye.